So I don't know if you know this, but we have a well-acclaimed children's book author in our midst. We actually have two in our midst tonight. Hi, Karen. But one happens to be a rabbi. Rabbi Nambi has a beautiful children's book about Sukkot that we thought it would be wonderful for her to share with the congregation. So I'm going to turn it over to you to introduce it.
Thank you so much. And I'm changing the age tonight. It's written for people between the ages of 0 and 120. So I am assuming, it will cover all of us. I'm really delighted and grateful to share my book with you. And I say my book because I wrote it, but also it's about me. I wrote it, it's a story about my childhood, about growing up and celebrating Sukkot in Uganda, in rural Uganda, which is an agricultural Uganda, part of Uganda. Growing up with my grandparents, some of you have heard me speak about my grandparents. And as I speak and share the book, I would like for you to think as well of a moment when you felt joy. What brings you joy in your life? And I'm sharing this book because some of the things, some days when I don't feel really joyful, or when I draw on the memories of growing up with my grandparents and celebrating Jewish holidays and the fun that I had being part of the Jewish community and making friendships and everything. So this story is about a spirited young Shoshi. I got the name Shoshi in Israel when I was living in Israel. A couple of my friends called me Shoshi, and I was like, oh, that's such a cute name. I really like Shoshana, so I'll keep Shoshana, but I think I can have a character named Shoshi. And the two brothers in this book are my brothers, Abraham and David. And so this is a story about building sukkahs and celebrating Sukkot with the whole Jewish community. It's called The Very Best Sukkah, a story from Uganda. And the reason is when I was growing up, we used to have these informal sukkah competitions. And I know you don't know this about me, but I'm a very judgmental person. So we love judging people's sukkahs and going around to see which one is the best sukkah. And of course, it was not official, but we had our own procedures of like figuring out which one was the best sukkah. And most of the times it's the sukkah that had more food. It's a sukkah that was bigger. As you will see, there are different kinds of sukkahs that represent everybody and their personalities, from the art teachers, from fruits and vegetables all over the place. But also, I was thinking about this period of Sukkot and the temporariness. There's a little bit in this book about the weather in Uganda and how everything just overnight changes. And even in an agricultural setting, it affects people, it affects farmers, destroys crops, and destroys everything. And just thinking about the temporariness and the permanence that we get in this book is by community and members and everybody helping and sharing with each other and helping each other, uplifting each other. I grew up in everybody's home, and that is what happens in my community. So I think those moments, when I think about them, they bring me a lot of joy. So I'm happy to share the book with you. I will be reading and nodding to Patrick to move to the next slides. Thank you, Patrick. The Very Best Sukkah, a story from Uganda. It is written by me, Shoshana Nambi, but also illustrated by the wonderful Moran Yogev. Moran Yogev lives in Israel, and she did this incredible, I think she brought the book to life by her beautiful illustrations. The first page. That is Shoshi, and that's my goat, Mbilo. Mbilo means speedy, so she used to be very fast. This is a story about Shoshi, who is very competitive and very spirited, as you will see in the book. Shoshi, wait for us, calls my brother Avram. As usual, my goat Mbilo and I have beaten all the children to school. I win again, I say proudly. My grandmother is always reminding me that life is not a competition. Ja, I tell her, it's not that I always have to win the race. I like being at the front. The view is better here. My brothers and I live with our grandparents in a little house surrounded by coffee trees in the Abaidia Jewish community in Uganda. Every Friday, I race home from school to help my judges prepare our Shabbat meals. It's my job to mix cassava and millet flour to make the dough for the kalo bread. Then we cook the kalo, vegetables, and beans on the fire so they are ready for us to eat when we return from the synagogue. As dusk begins to fall, the Jewish families walk to synagogue for Shabbat services. At the synagogue, I sit with my brothers. During his Shabbat talk, the rabbi reminds us that the serious Yom Kippur holiday is over. Now it is time to celebrate the Jewish people's journey through the desert to Israel. It's time for Sukkot. Yes, my brothers and I smile at each other. Sukkot is our favorite holiday. When the service is over, everybody gathers on the lawn for Kiddush. My brothers and I lie on the grass and watch the sky fill with stars. We try to count them all. Of course, I count the highest. So what's the plan for our sukkah this year, asks my little brother David. I tell my brother about the pile of Nsambia tree branches that I have been collecting for the roof of the hut we'll build to celebrate Sukkot holiday. Good job, Shoshi, says Abraham. This year, our sukkah is going to be the best in the village. Every year, families compete to create the most beautiful sukkah. People work hard to build and decorate their sukkahs, hanging local fruits like bananas, passion fruits, mangoes, pineapples, and jackfruits. Those ones are big. We just put them in the corner. By the end of the 7-day Sukkot celebration, the whole village smells like sweet, ripening fruit. All week long, people take turns visiting one another and eating in their neighbor's sukkah. Each sukkah looks different, and each one reflects its builder's special skills and talents. Dina, over here on the left, is the school's arts teacher. Her family's sukkah is decorated with her students' colorful artwork. Nalongo, the mother of twins and the village seamstress, has sewn beautiful curtains and pillows for her family's sukkah. And Moshe, over here, has a sukkah filled with bowls of brightly colored fruits and vegetables from his own bountiful garden. He has a dish of roasted groundnuts for people to sample as they pass by. Yum. You can imagine that was one of my favorite sukkahs. All year long, Dawoodi and Rebecca sell delicious samosas at a stand in the village. Dawoodi has saved up enough money to buy fancy battery-operated and elegant crochet trims in the big town of Mbale to decorate his sukkah. That's not fair, complained Sarah. I spent weeks crocheting and Dawoodi is just going to get into the store and buy everything? How can I compete with those sparkling lights, sighs Jonathan. Dawoodi will definitely win the contest this year, Isaac exclaims. It makes me sad to hear everybody so upset. Abraham, David, and I put finishing touches on our sukkah. We all agree that while we might not have Dawoodi's fancy decorations, this is the best sukkah we have ever built. Tomorrow is the first day of Sukkot. The rabbi will make his big walk and choose the most beautiful sukkah. I hope he chooses ours. But before the big walk, the rabbi gives his big talk under the mango tree. The rabbi tells us that we can compete and still feel kindness towards each other. He reminds us that the value of Sukkot competition, of the Sukkah competition is in our community is to bring people together to admire and appreciate the beauty, creativity, and talents of our friends and families. During Sukkot, we remember the Jewish people's journey through the desert to Israel. Like those ancient Jews, we must also work together as a community. In my heart, I agree with the rabbi, but I still want our sukkah to be chosen. Do you think we will win Jaja? I ask as she tucks me into bed that night. Shoshi, you and your brothers made the best sukkah you have ever built. I think you have already won. Jaja is right as usual, and I give her hand a little squeeze. Crack, boom! In the wake of darkness, to the sound of thunder and the roar of the rain pounding on a metal roof, I hear my poor little goat-in-beetle crying, and I race outside to comfort her. The wind and the rain beat against the goat's pen as we snuggle up to each other, and finally we doze off. In the morning, the sun is shining, but the storm was very destructive, and many of the villagers' sukkahs are damaged. Abraham, David, and I are able to make repairs to our own sukkah easily, but not everybody is so lucky. Daudi's sukkah is totally destroyed. The battery-operated lights are smashed, and the elegant crochet decorations are tangled beyond repair. People in the village begin to talk. They feel bad because yesterday they spoke harshly about Daudi's decoration, and now his sukkah is ruined. My brothers and I feel bad for Daudi and Rebecca as well. We could probably spare some insambia tree branches, suggests Abraham. When we bring our branches to Daudi and Rebecca's house, we find a big crowd of villagers. Everybody has something to share. Dina has some of her students' artwork, Narongo brings some of her pillows, and Moshe brings a dish of roasted groundnuts. The entire village works together to help fix Daudi and Rebecca's sukkah. Daudi passes out his delicious samosas as snacks, and everybody starts singing, Hinema Tovu. See how good it is? Of course, I sing the loudest. Finally, Daudi and Rebecca's sukkah is repaired, and we all admire our handiwork. There are bits and pieces of every villager built into the repaired sukkah. It's a little mismatch, but everybody thinks that this makes it even more beautiful. And the rabbi agrees Daudi and Rebecca's sukkah has won. The rabbi holds up the lulav and etrog, the important Sukkot holiday symbols. He shows us how the lulav is made of 3 different types of branches bound together. The many people in our community are bound together in the same way. Are you sad that your sukkah did not win the contest, Shoshi? Asks Jaja as she tucks me into bed that night. But I did win. We all won, I say sleepily. Everyone helped rebuild Daudi and Rebecca's sukkah, so everyone won the contest. And as I start to doze off, I feel Jaja give my hand a little squeeze. And thank you.
Pretty lucky.